here. We have this human body. We should take full advantage of this human body. Not waste it running after sense gratification. We should fully absorb ourselves in Krishna consciousness, coming back to our original state, our original identity. We've been taught incorrectly in so many ways by our parents, by our teachers, by the entertainment industry, the government leaders. We have been grossly misguided, so much so that we're just doing everything wrong. In terms of our liberation from material existence, we're doing everything so wrongly that all we're doing is entangling ourselves more and more and more in the material nature. You understand this point? We are simply becoming more and more entangled in the material nature by following the misguidance of our parents, our relatives, our teachers, etc. This is why to have the shelter of a bona fide spiritual master and bona fide Vaishnavas is of the utmost importance. You have to get associated with those who are on the pathway back to home, back to Godhead. Because otherwise, right now, you're going to hell. You are going to hell following these materialistic people, family members, government leaders who are on the material platform. By following these persons, you're going down to the animal kingdom in your next birth. So don't be a fool, don't be an idiot, don't be a moron to follow these people who have no conception of the spiritual identity of the self. Follow those persons who awaken in Krishna consciousness, who can guide you, who can bless you, who can inspire you how to become a liberated soul even within this very body. You don't have to wait till death to become liberated. All you have to do is engage yourself 100% in the service of the Lord right now. You're liberated. You're already liberated. The trouble is we're too addicted to material sense gratification. The tongue, the belly, the genitals, mind, words, and anger. We like to indulge these things. But we have to be intelligent and realize this is nothing but degradation of the self. Going down, reversing the evolutionary process. You see, the evolutionary process is Vedic, it's not Darwinian. The evolutionary process, one goes not by the bodies changing, but by the transmigration of the soul through the cycle of birth and death. Living entity gradually evolves, as described. Jaladala Valakshani Stavala Lakshavimshati Kramiya Ruddha Samkhyaga Pakshinam Dashalakshanam Santa Lakshani Pashavaha Chatur Lakshani Manashana. This is evolution from the Vedas. You begin in the aquatics, and you go to the plants, and you go to the insects and reptiles, and you go to the birds, then you go to the beasts, then you get a human body after going through all these other 8 million forms. You come to the human species, of which there are 400,000 varieties. We don't see them here, but you know there are humans out there in outer space, on other planets. Every planet is inhabited, although NASA hasn't figured it out yet. There are the scientists don't realize that the whole universe is inhabited. They don't have the eyes to see, the tools to see, the living entities everywhere throughout the whole universe. So, this human body is a very, very special opportunity when you can actually inquire, why do I exist? What is the meaning of life? What's my purpose here? Tato Brahma Jigyasa, what is the nature of the absolute truth? You see, this, if you want to know what is the absolute truth, congratulations, now you're a human being. If you don't care to know what is the absolute truth, you're just a dog or a cat or a monkey. It's called Dvipada Pashu, two-legged animal. You're just an animal. If all you care about is eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, you're no better than a dog running around the street. No better than a dog. You see. The dog is running on his 4 legs, you're running on 4 wheels in your car thinking, oh yes. Sometimes the dog chases the car and the driver looks and goes, ha ha ha, and he floorboards it and he leaves the dog in the dust. You're thinking, oh, I'm so much better than the dog, you see, because I can outrun him with my car. But he is the dog. It's the same mentality as a dog. Same mentality. So don't be in a doggish mentality of simply eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Be in a godly mentality, not a dogly mentality. You see, it's the same letters, G, O, and D. But how you spell it, you can spell D-O-G or G-O-D. So what are you going to be? Are you dogly or godly? It's your choice. You say, well, when my karma allows me to be godly, then I'll be godly. No. This is not under the influence of karma. See, there's 2 tracks, there's the karmic track and the akarmic track, simultaneously going on. When you get into the karmic track, your akarmic, or the transcendental track, it goes into dormant state. But you have the option, anytime flipping tracks, going into the karmic or the transcendental track, at any time you can do that. Some people say, well, I'll take the Krishna consciousness and it's my karma to take the Krishna consciousness. It will never be your karma to take the Krishna consciousness. You will take the Krishna consciousness by the mercy of the spiritual master when he inspires you to give up the karmic track and to come to the transcendental track. You see? So you can come at any time. You just have to desire it. Krishna is waiting. Krishna has been traveling with you through millions of lifetimes of your sojourn in the cycle of birth and death. He has been traveling with you as the Paramatma, seated beside you, the Atma, a spiritual particle within the heart. In millions of species, the super soul, who is your best friend, has accompanied you. He's simply waiting for that moment when you think, I want out of this madness. I want to come back to this pure spiritual life. Then he will bring you in contact with a bona fide spiritual master who will then plant the seed of bhakti within your heart. You will take advantage of that seed by regularly watering it, by chanting and hearing about Krishna, and protecting that creeper from the weeds of illicit sex, meat eating, intoxication, and gambling, and building a very strong fence around that creeper that will never be offensive towards a devotee. I will guard myself against Vaishnava aparadha. If you will do this, if you will avoid the four sinful pillars, if you will avoid Vaishnava aparadha and you regularly hear and chant about Krishna, then the creeper of bhakti will become activated. It will gradually travel all the way through the coverings of this material universe. It will go to the transcendental kingdom of God, it will go all the way to Krishna Loka, and wrap itself around the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna, in which time the full-blown fruit of Ragatmika Bhakti, or Prema Bhakti, will become manifest. Simply one has to be determined. That's all. You just have to be determined. Like that little sparrow who wouldn't accept that the ocean would not return her eggs. We have to be very, very determined to get out of the madness of material existence and come back to our original identities as Krishna's eternal servants. We have to be very, very determined. If you're not determined, you're not going to make it. You have to be determined to become the pure devotee of Krishna. And then Krishna will help. God help those who help themselves. If you make that sincere, determined endeavor to become a pure devotee, Krishna will help you within and without. In all ways, Krishna will help you to achieve the perfection. Simply one has to be very determined. So I can ask others any questions. Yes.
This verse talks about Vanaprastha.
About
Vanaprastha.
Vanaprastha, okay.
So, what does that mean in ISKCON in practical terms? because we don't go to the forest.
Does it mean traveling around the van?
Maybe?
Now, vanaprastha means that you're finished with the activity of, having children. There's no brahmacharis. It's strict brahmachari life. Grahastha life, you can have children. But a vanaprastha, you're completely free from any sexual activities. And that's one of the crucial points of big vanaprastha. And he's fully absorbed in preaching Krishna consciousness. That is the force of Vrindavan. If you're a preacher, you're fully absorbed in preaching, you're living in Vrindavan already. You see? So if one has become brahmachari, he and his wife are not having any children, they're fully absorbed in preaching, that is practice speaking vanaprastha. There is a vanaprastha where one lives separately from one's from one's wife. It's not as if wife is life, no wife, no life. That's not our philosophy. One can live separately from one's wife as a vanaprastha. One can live together with one's wife. Prabhupada also explains that if one's household life is completely Krishna conscious, and one's wife is a devotee properly engaged in Krishna consciousness, and the husband properly engaged, there's no need for sannyas. He also said that. So, some devotees take up vanaprastha where they live separately from their wife, they put on saffron, they get ready for sannyas. That's a type of vanaprastha. Another type of vanaprastha is to remain with the wife and fully engaged in preaching. It's another type of vanaprastha. So both types are very different.
Like you're doing?
Yes, I'm vanaprastha. Oh, you were doing also?
Yeah.
Vanaprastha life is very, very, very nice, very ecstatic life. The grahastha is also very nice. Devotees who, they don't want to have families, it's very nice. That's very good too. It's not that, if you're a grahastha, you're low class. No. If one is inclined to have a family and children, it's very nice. Either way, a couple can, Prabhupada said that not that they're married, they have to have sex and have to have children, it's not required. He told Satsarupa in a letter. It's not required, but you have to have children. If you want to, it's a choice. You want to be like vanaprastha, you want to be, either way it's fine. Whatever inspires you, whatever facilitates you the best to engage in Krishna's consciousness, that's the point. Any other questions? Let's see what we got coming in internet. Nothing yet. Yes.
You mentioned the courage of Prahlad Maharaj.
Yeah.
And he's just saying it like as it is, and that is his compassion.
Yeah.
But sometimes we may find that if we, when we preach to someone, if we are very direct, then they might be a little intimidated by that.
I might want to kill you. Just like Hiranyakashipu wanted to kill his son after you. Yeah. Could be dangerous. So one has to be, according to time, place, and circumstance. One has to be intelligent to see what you can actually get away with. You want to give as much as you can, and if you give too much, then they become offensive. This is why it's said, don't preach to the faithless. If you give them too much, then they become offensive, and that's your offense. So a preacher knows the art of how to give them just the right amount, the proper dose, so it purifies them, but they don't become offensive. That's the art of the preacher. He gives them as much as they can handle, but not more than they can handle. He purifies them, but he doesn't purify them too much. Little by little by little by little, gradually. Any other questions? Yes.
Yeah. about determination. Determination.
You forget?
Determination.
Determination.
Yeah.
And I can see as longer you are in Krishna consciousness, that is developed more and more. You get more and more knowing, this is my service, this is what I should focus on. So determination is for me is very important. And my Guru Maharaj said we should absorb ourselves in Krishna consciousness. So could you say something about that? Absorption and determination?
Oh yes, I could say something. It's do or die, really. If you understand, it's I either do this or I'm committing suicide. If one understands the implications of not taking seriously the path of Krishna consciousness, that will help one become even more determined. There's really no other, there's that nice verse in the Isha Upanishad, there is no other alternative to this way for man. It's either this or the going down to the animal kingdom, as good as being dead in terms of spiritual realization goes. It's either this or worse than death. If one understands the urgency, the absolute urgency of fully surrendering to Krishna as soon as possible, then even that will increase their determination. Yeah. Any other questions?
I would like to connect to the question of Prabhu. How to understand how much dose of knowledge of Krishna consciousness we can give to the persons we are meeting.
You would like...
How to understand how much dose, how much dose I can, how much I can give.
This is learned by experience. One sincerely tries one's best, and Krishna within the heart helps you. If you're really trying to help a person to awaken their Krishna consciousness, you're sincerely wanting to help them, you're not wanting to show off or simply defend your own position. You're sincerely wanting to help them to awaken their Krishna consciousness. Krishna within your heart will give you the understanding what you need to tell them. He will. Sometimes a neophyte devotee is more worried about defending his own position than he is in helping that person. And then that he may preach in a fanatical way, he doesn't. But the mature devotee, he has no fear about losing his Krishna consciousness. He's strong and fixed in Krishna consciousness. So he simply thinks, what can I tell this person that will help them to advance? He's not trying to defend his own position at all. He has nothing to defend. He feels completely protected. So he simply thinks, how can I benefit this person? So if one is sincerely wanting to do that, one is fully strong in one's own conviction. It's not that some atheistic argument will disturb his mind, no. He hears an atheistic argument and becomes enlightened, and now I have a exciting chess match here. He never feels threatened by any philosophy, because he's fixed in his own conviction. In that kind of a mentality, he can just simply think, what sort of words or what sort of tone of voice, what sort of mode of expression can I use that will actually help this person to realize that there's a higher truth beyond what he's thinking is reality. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, here we go. Lithuania. How to get faith that it is possible even for the most degraded person Remember Jagai and Madai? There you go. Jagai and Madai were so degraded, they were rapists, they were murderers, they were thieves, I mean they were the most wicked, despicable characters. But yet they became completely pure devotees. So much so that we sing their names. And the Narottam Das actually inserted their names to become holy names. Jagai and Madai are holy names. Lord Krishna comes as Lord Krishna comes, and the English version is Lord Krishna comes as HG Sankarsana. Balaram descends as Nitai. By chanting the wretched have all been saved, including Jagai and Madai. So we sing their names have become holy names, Jagai and Madai. Of course they got new names after they surrendered, but even their karmi names are celebrated because they became such wonderful examples of devotees who were so degraded. Madai was the worst character. He actually smashed Lord Nityananda on the head with a clay drinking pot and drew blood from Lord Nityananda's forehead, enraging Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Can you imagine how degraded to smash somebody, a devotee, on the head? The Lord himself on the head and draw blood? How degraded he was, but yet he became a very great pure devotee. So if you remember Jagai Madai, that will encourage you that even though now I'm a degraded, wretched person, that by the mercy of Lord Nityananda and the mercy of Lord Chaitanya and the mercy of my spiritual master, that I can become a great pure devotee, completely free of all lust, anger, greed, madness, illusion, envy, which is the present moment completely torturing me and tormenting me. Yes.
How does one learn the art of inquiring to like facilitate senior devotees to talk about Krishna?
How does one learn how to inquire in such a way that facilitate the Krishna Katha to flow and keep flowing and flowing and flowing? Tune into the moment. Try to really tune into the moment, really hear what's being said, and try to understand, try to connect with Krishna in the moment. As you're hearing the words being spoken, try to really connect. These words are not ordinary words. These words describing Krishna, glorifying the process of Krishna consciousness, or Krishna himself. So if you actually realize that this katha is not ordinary, like an ordinary conference down in a hotel, this is Krishna himself manifesting in the form of his glorification. So if you have that conviction and understanding, that realization, then Krishna will inspire you to inquire in such a way that the intensity and the depth of the katha can be enhanced more and more and more. Questions?
Yesterday I found on Facebook very nice picture with very nice words. The words were, you just accept the holy name and Lord Nityananda will be responsible for delivering you from this material world. But I asked the devotee that he knows about this, or something about words, what is the source of these words, but he knew. So if you can elaborate about.
Yeah, he found a statement that if you chant the holy name,
You just accept the holy name, and
you just accept the holy name, and then Lord Nityananda, he will
become responsible
for your delivery from the material world.
If you chant the holy name, Lord Nityananda will take responsibility to deliver you.
Yeah. And you wanted like a
Yes,
source.
Maharaj, if Maharaj can elaborate about this, if he
you
knows
can
the source
elaborate.
or something.
If you chant, anyone who takes the name of Krishna, Lord Nityananda, will personally see that you become delivered. That
No, he will deliver you. He will become responsible.
you will
from-
deliver, yes. So we have to know what it really means to take the name. What does it really mean to connect with the name, to take the name? That's the crucial thing here. Just like we have 10 offenses against the name. In other words, there are impediments that can get in the way of taking the name. So we have to understand how to avoid all these impediments. The first one is to blaspheme devotees, be critical of devotees. The second one is to consider the names of the demigods to be the same as Krishna's name. The third offense is disobey the orders of the spiritual master. That means I'm supposed to have it, I need to have a spiritual master. And I have to be obedient to him. So taking the name is not just a matter of saying Hare Krishna, but it's a matter of avoiding all the offenses against the name at the same time. So we can chant Hare Krishna and avoid all the offenses which are so important. We chant them every morning in the morning program. And they're mentioned in several places in Prabhupada's books. And Prabhupada said his system was, when there's an initiation ceremony, the 10 offenses should be described. It's simply chanting Hare Krishna. One can go on chanting Hare Krishna for millions of lifetimes and not become delivered if one is committing offenses. So one has to learn how to chant without offense. So you have to respect Vaishnavas, you have to understand the supremacy of Krishna, you have to take a spiritual master, get initiated, be fully obedient to your spiritual master. In this way, you can actually take the name, and at which point when you really take the name in the full sense of the meaning, take the name, Lord Chaitanya will definitely, Lord Nityananda will definitely deliver you, no doubt about it. That by his mercy you'll become delivered. Even while in the present body you become delivered. So let's see if we got any others on the internet here. Okay, here we go. From Mumbai, India. During one's japa, how can one have a prayerful mood? You know, I found a really good trick for that. Look at mantra 7 in the Upadeshamrita. If you want to increase your prayerful mood while chanting japa, I recommend that you learn this verse and you can recite it sometimes during your japa period. And it goes like this. Siyat Krishna Nama Charitari Satat Yadinya Tato Pataptadashanasha Narochikanu Kintavandana Vikam Shadishai Vajushta Sanikravadabhikalamula Hantri. The holy name, character, and pastimes of Krishna are all transcendently sweet, just like sugar candy. Although the tongue of one who is afflicted with the jaundice of avidya, ignorance, cannot taste anything sweet, it is simply wonderful that by carefully, prayerfully chanting these sweet names every day, a natural relish will awaken within his tongue and his disease will become destroyed at the root. So if you will learn this verse, or at least you can have it on a piece of paper if you haven't memorized it, or have an Upadeshamrita handy, and you can flip it open and read it for a minute or so before you chant your rounds. And remember, if I will carefully, in a prayerful mood, chant these names, then I'll come out of this avidya, my devotional creeper will become activated, everything auspicious will come just by properly chanting, just by carefully, properly chanting these names.